Yeah, we on delayed time, but I think we are all the way live. Yes,
Right.
yes. We all the way live once again. Yes, yes. Peace, peace, y'all. Barghani Islam.
Oh,
Salam. Etepu. Rahubat. Gino Lacombe, Nani Chief Noble Bandele El and back in the building. And also, we got back in the building once again. KB back in the building, aka Brother Jamil, back in the
oh man. It done crashed, y'all. We feared that this was gonna happen. Bro, gonna hop back online. It should just take a few minutes, y'all, but just stay with us. Uh, we going back into the finance again. Happy Black History Month to everyone that is watching, everybody listening in. I hope y'all enjoying a very, very good Black History Month. Hope y'all is getting the Black history that y'all need. Y'all know it's Black History 365 every day around these parts. But since they decided to give us a special month, we definitely gonna recognize that. And we want to recognize everybody who may be here and watching in. Ah, Brother Bandele is back. He coming back in, y'all. Should just take a few seconds. You know, this technology, man. This technology can be
building.
quite. You made it back, y'all.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm back in the building, y'all. Of course, it goes down right when we start the show, but it's all good. I hope y'all got the intro. I said back in KB, back in the building again, and tonight we're gonna kind of go back through the financial system and how we've been going through this the last couple videos we've done. So we're gonna continue that, man. We got like a few videos, and probably more that we're gonna do on this subject matter to kind of go through the whole. Well, I ain't gonna say the whole, but give a real good account of finances, right? So I think tonight we're gonna pick up where we left off, which was about the monetary system. So this should be good, man. But before we get into any of that, anything, man, when I set the screen back up.
Oh yeah, man. Just big ups to Black History Month, man. Big up to everybody who done laid the foundation, all the ancestors. I say, I say, I say, and
I say,
with that,
I say,
that's
yeah, I'm
all I
getting there,
got to
man.
say.
Hey, we gotta do some videos on Melanated History Month because we did some last year. If y'all didn't know, we did some. We was going back to Africa, and we was making the connections to the history prior to colonialization and all that. So y'all should check those videos out. You can go New Kemet. Before y'all do anything though, please smash that like button. All right.
Oh man, I think we may be experiencing some of the technical difficulties. But yeah, man, if y'all here, smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you will get a notification anytime Brother Bandele El goes live. I think definitely he tried to encourage y'all to, dive into the knowledge that's in his books rather than put out numerous bestsellers. I'm pretty sure once he gets back online, he gonna go into more information about that, about the treaty books, I think he got a new book on the Canaanite connection. I think he coming back on now.
Can you hear me again?
Uh,
Yo, I don't know why I told you I was gonna do that though, man. But it is actually moving faster now. So I don't know. Sometimes when it crash, it actually is a good thing.
okay.
Silver linings and everything. So I don't know where we left off, but like I said, you can check all my books on Amazon dealing with Moorish and African and melanated and indigenous studying. So you can look all the books, the treaties, nationality, Moorish Moabite man, the birth certificate explained. It's a new book I just put out. So I got a few books, man. Just go to let's see, Bandele El and go check them out on Amazon, right? So we about to get into this, man. Let's let's go and get into this. So, like we said, tonight we're going to check out. Uh, we're going to deal with the monetary system. We're going to pick up for where we left off. I'm about to go to that page and pull that up. I kind of like to do it this way because I don't like to have this whole script scare. I don't like to share everything that I'm doing because it look kind of funny doing. Uh, but I'm about to pull it back up. Let me see. Stop screen. I'm waiting for it to stop. Like I said, it's all slow, man. I don't know what's going on. I know I had a couple people on here. They left because it was we having too much mayhem. Having too much mayhem over here, man. And y'all. So that means, look, y'all need to donate. Cause I ain't lying. Like we both would like to have up to date equipment so that we can bring like more stuff without all these problems. Because I think sometimes it's really got to do with my computer or my laptop, right? And for whatever reason, I don't think it gets the internet like it receives it that good. I don't know why. I know that StreamYard is sensitive to the internet, but just the fact that it
Oh man, technology strikes again, y'all. Well, we gonna get it together, man. We definitely gonna talk about some good information. This is definitely free service to y'all. It's almost like community service. So donations are definitely due. One of the things that's so important to the functioning of economy or a monetary system is mutual support. You feel me? So we talk about black economics and supporting each other.
boy. If this happened one more time,
Uh, before uh, thunder the thunder done strike, bro. Thunder done strike. Even before we can get it out, thunder done strike again, man. We may have to restart. I don't know. You got it plugged up to the modem.
nah, I don't have it plugged up to the modem, man. But it's kind of in a tricky spot. So I want you to. I'm about to share the screen and go again, y'all. So y'all just bear with me. I'm gonna try it one more time. We're gonna see if it let me share the screen, and then we're gonna get into this. All right, I think I did get the screen back up. Hopefully, if it do, you're gonna have to keep going, bro. Because I mean, you're still there for some reason. Like when my shit crashes, you're still there. So, but anyway, so I got it up now. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Y'all smash the like button, and we about to get into this, man. Because this is hurry up and get through it before it crashes, man. So we've been like we said, we've been talking about the monetary system, but we've been talking about in particular, we've been talking about finances, and in this time there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, in particular in the United States. And because the money system is all screwed up, and like one thing is we all are looking to make more money. And what better way to learn to make money is to learn the financial system. The system is how it's set up. A lot of us don't understand it. So we've been going through uh, the whole, financials step by step. So where we're at today, if y'all want to look, we got two other videos that we've done on this. All right. So y'all have to go back and check those other two videos. But right now we about to go into the monetary system, which is very important. This is my favorite part, man. I might be able to. I hope we drop some jewels, man. So let me make it bigger. But I'm gonna let you go ahead. Can you see it a big? Let me see.
Oh yeah, I got the notes pulled up too.
Okay.
So
Well, I'm gonna pull it up so y'all can see it a lot bigger. All right. So let's get into it. I'm gonna let you go ahead, man, and start it off. So we is this where we left off at 2.3, the monetary system, or was it?
yes, sir.
Did we? Okay. All right. So let's go. Let's get into it, man.
So we was talking about chapter two. This chapter two, the literature, whatnot. We was talking about the monetary system and money. So we get into the monetary system now, and we talking about what is the monetary system, what it's responsible for. So we got here the monetary system is responsible for creating and transferring money, and then we got the two major actors in the monetary system. We have the central bank, the Federal Reserve, and the banking system, which includes depository institutions. Uh, did you have anything you really wanted to go into about those 2 points there?
I mean, let's look at the central bank.
Okay.
I think the one. I mean, we. I think we both are. I think most people are familiar with both terms. Um, but for many people who don't understand, the central bank for the United States is the Federal Reserve. There are many central banks around the world, but the Federal Reserve controls the money system for the United States. Now, for y'all to don't understand, the Federal Reserve is not. It is not federal. It is. It is a private bank that is working with the government of the United States. They work together. Okay, so I know there's a lot of information about the Federal Reserve. A lot of people have heard about it, especially if you kind of guys are kind of woke. We have, we looked at the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve it's what creates the money for the United States. So it's a private bank that actually creates money for the United States. So I'm gonna start right there. I don't know. We might get deep into this, but um, I'm gonna let you go ahead. So you can go ahead, man. I'm not gonna get too deep into it right now.
So we was talking about the monetary system. So of course we're talking about money. Uh, the central bank, which is the Federal Reserve, they define and regulate the amount of the money supply. And we also have the banking system, which and the primary focus of that is depository institutions, which includes commercial banks, saving and loans institutions, savings banks, and credit unions. Um, we finna get more into money and what it actually is, and I think that it's really important to take a look at this. I mean, a lot of folks have really woken up and discovered that everything isn't what it appears to be on the surface. And I definitely think that it's worth taking a really good look and seeing who's who, what's what, and we're gonna do that. Actually, there's another chapter in this book that goes into a lot more detail about what the Federal Reserve is and what it actually does. We're not gonna get into that today, but uh, it should be coming up very soon.
Okay, no doubt, no doubt. So, all right. So I mean, we we looking at this. Okay, we talked about the central bank briefly, but then we have part two, the banking system, the depository institutions. So the Federal Reserve works directly with these other banking systems, correct?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And like I said, we're gonna talk about we banks that are national banks because there's two different types of banks depending on the different charter that a bank has. Some banks have state charters, some banks have federal charters. Any bank that has a federal charter is regulated by the Federal Reserve.
Okay, so you're saying that some banks are federal, some banks are state. So the state banks are not um, dictate the Federal Reserve or the federal bank doesn't dictate to them, or what's
Well,
the
well,
what's your understanding of that?
let's say that they are less regulated by. They have more space to move than the Federal Reserve. They're not. I would say they probably as not much regulated by the Federal Reserve than the state charter banks. Because state charter banks could also be, part or let's say a part of that system. Let's just say that, but it's not required.
Right. Okay. I mean, because it's the same money. I mean, all the money is created by the Federal Reserve, so even that money that they have in the state bank is still considered uh, Federal Reserve, right?
And that's another thing too, though, because the Federal Reserve, they do create the Federal Reserve notes, what we know as money. But at least from what I've actually seen, the majority of the money is actually created by the banks. As far as like credit money, and we're gonna get more into that. You know what I'm saying? Because we got the Federal Reserve notes, which we consider as money and all that. But you got the digital, money, credit money that they got in the computer somewhere. I don't know. We gonna definitely get more into that.
All right, all right. So, all right, I don't want to get too deep in everything, but I just want to make sure everybody understands certain things. Like what is a commercial bank? What would be considered a commercial bank?
Commercial banks are your typical everyday banks that engage in commercial banking. They banking to make a profit. I mean, it show J.P. Morgan, Bank of America's, all that. I mean, they work a little bit different than like for instance, we got saving and loans banks. Like they specialize in different things. You know what I'm saying? But
Facts. Right, right.
I mean, we got that here. We can actually get more to that. Let me just double check. I think we got that
All right,
here.
all right, all right. No, you go ahead. I'm just that'll be good. Then we can get into it. Trying to get myself centered, man. We can get into that. So I mean, if it's let me see. Uh, I
Yeah,
need to let me
that's more like
go a little
chapter
bit.
three. If we have time, we can
Okay,
get into chapter three.
okay, okay. So we finishing up this part. So then it's got here. It says four functions.
Yeah, so the four functions of the monetary system is create money, transfer money, provide financial intermediation, and process and clear checks. I mean, that's straightforward. I don't know if you wanted to get into that anymore.
No, I'm not gonna get into it anymore. If anybody got any questions though regarding this information, then drop a question. You know,
And
because
definitely
we're
more
just
than
kind of going
anything,
through.
this is uh, public service to everybody. I'm not a financial expert. What I'm doing is, we collecting the information and we presenting it to the people. More than anything, this is just encouragement for people to, learn more about these things and become more financially literate. But we are not financial advisors. for the record. So, just take it as it is, folks, and you know,
Okay, I got you. I got you. So let's keep moving. In let's look at. Okay, so where we at? Importance of. I mean, importance and function of money.
okay. So we got the importance and function of money. So we got money defined. Well, this is a really good question. Well, what is money? What is money? It's a number of different definitions of money, and we got a few definitions listed here. One of them is legal tender, as defined by government, and consisting of currency and coins. In a more general sense, money is synonymous with cash, which includes negotiable instruments such as checks based on bank balances. We got money as a medium of exchange, which is circulated in the financial system. A narrow definition of money includes paper and coins. A broader definition includes measures such as M1, M2, and M3, which is defined by the Federal Reserve. Um, a medium of exchange in a particular country, also known as currency and fiat money. So we got a few different definitions of what money is, um, which is laid out here. I mean, anybody who has looked into this topic knows that money can essentially be anything that people use as a medium of exchange. But what we tend to do here in the United States, we take a number of different things as money. We use Federal Reserve notes. We can use checks. Credit, debit money. Um, I mean, it goes real deep. I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that, or point out anything about that, or
Um, I was trying to find something. I mean, yeah. I mean, money in the United States is kind of funny. And I mean, when we talking about what illegal tender is, and from my understanding of legal tender, what we really should be using as money, it shouldn't be debt. It shouldn't be debt. Like, and that's what I think we're using at this time. But it should be based off of a constitutional form of money. Would you? Do you think that the money we're using today is constitutional?
well, I can't really say. I would honestly. That's a really good question. I'm not a lawyer or nothing like that. I would think it is. I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. And it really begs the question of what is. I think me and you've even talked about this before. Back in the day, states and different cities had their own paper currencies, which has kind of been wiped out today. I think some cities, some states even still have paper currency that still circulates. Uh, for some reason, folks then decided to go with the Federal Reserve notes, uh, which I guess can be considered as a debt, but it's real interesting when the topic of money comes up, when we start talking about how debt and credit is so ingrained in what we constitute as money. As the Federal Reserve note, is it debt? And why do we accept that as money? And I don't think we're going to talk about that today, but how is
Right. It's a
even
lot.
the federal how does the Federal Reserve note even come into existence, and why is it exchanged, and how that whole process works, and how does it be used as money is a really interesting topic. And I think we really do need to look into that, because it's it's not necessarily clear. It's not necessarily clear, because we can say like, oh yeah, well, the Federal Reserve, it's a debt, But what does that even mean? Because it's definitely worth value. How can a debt be worth value? Someone's debt be worth anything of value?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this. We definitely going to get into this at some point because it's important for us to break down what money is. But as far as for what we're reading here, one of the things I wanted to talk about because I've talked about this before, and that's letter B, where it says in more general sense, money is synonymous with cash, and it says now this with which includes negotiable instruments. So we talk about checks based on bank balances, but see, negotiable instruments is a lot more than that. And so this is why money seems to be weird because negotiable instruments are, you know, not just checks, but they're promissory notes. And so we've done videos on that as well. So you got promissory notes and other and things of that nature that are considered money, but there's nothing backing it or nothing. It's just your word, your promise to pay back, your promise to pay something back becomes actual legal tender. Okay, so like I said, we gonna get further into these things. I don't want to, get too far off, but I just put that on your mind. Y'all look up negotiable instruments in the Black Law Dictionary and see what it says. Okay, so you can go ahead, man. I'm not gonna. And then it says, oh, hold on, fiat money. Did we get down to G?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get more into that actually. The next bullet point. I think you have
Okay,
some things to say about this.
okay. Yeah, go ahead and continue then, man. I'm gonna let you go ahead and
Okay, well let's see. Well yeah,
let me
let's
see. I need to.
so the three functions of money that serves as a medium of exchange, has a store of value, and a standard of value. So essentially, in order for something to be money, it has to have these. It has to serve these three functions: serve as a medium of exchange, as a store of value, and a standard of value. Has to be a standard of value. So we dealing with value there. That's a whole nother topic.
Okay, okay, uh, okay. So I mean that's pretty simple. All right, standard of value. So we got credit money and deposit money. So we're gonna go into that. Credit money and deposit money. Okay,
Okay, let
that's
me see.
that's stuff. Okay,
What that cause I damn there. Okay. So yeah, it talks about credit money and deposit money. It mentions at least those two forms of money. And credit money, the money is backed by the credit worthiness of the issuer. And it also talks about fiat money as a form of credit money. It says, i.e., important example, the Federal Reserve notes. So many folks already hit to this that the Federal Reserve notes, what we typically consider money, is fiat money. It's not backed by anything other than the credit worthiness of the issuer. Uh, and that's a lot right there, at least from my own understanding of it. Um, the way that Federal Reserve notes are are issued, I believe they're issued in exchange for T bills, which is basically like a IOU from the government. I stand to be corrected. You know what I'm saying? Damn, what happened?
I'm go ahead, go ahead. I'm gonna do something real quick. I want to show us
Okay.
another picture.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
either
I'm gonna
T
go back to.
bonds or T bills. I think we even, you might even be able to pull up a picture of that. But but yeah, the way that we get Federal Reserve notes from the Federal Reserve, well, actually, and that's another thing too, though, because the Federal Reserve they don't even print the money. The money is actually printed by the United States Mint. But I think that's what is exchanged. So that's almost a whole other topic. So brothers, you know, anybody listening in, definitely look that up and become more educated and aware of that. But we know that what we presented here to y'all today, a lot of y'all already know this, that the Federal Reserve notes are fiat money. It's a form of credit money. And the use of coins and currency to complete transactions. Okay, but that's not even. I think basically, at
I'm
least at
about to.
that point,
Hold
yeah.
on.
Uh,
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going. I had tried to put something up and it wouldn't let me put it up, but I'm gonna try it again. So go ahead. Cause it's just a picture or something. I think it's important to show.
okay.
So so you can go ahead though. You can keep discussing it real quick. I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah.
get the screen. You gotta bear with me.
So what we got here is just the use of physical money, coins, and currency money to complete transactions can be costly and inefficient if large amounts and or long distances are involved. So essentially, that's saying that the paper money, and a lot of us should know this, the paper money, the quote unquote digital money, that is makes things more efficient because when we talking about the money being backed by gold and stuff like that, if we were using gold, we lost a brother again. Uh, but yeah, if we were using gold to complete transactions, I mean, who want to carry around uh 20 pounds of gold to the grocery store, or you need to go buy a house or a car? Is you gonna want to carry around tons of gold? So essentially that's what that point is trying to make clear, is that paper money makes transactions easier and more efficient. And we're gonna wait for the brother to come back. But so we talking about credit money, credit, and we also need to talk about credit. Well, what is credit? We got a definition of credit here, and I'm sure we're gonna talk about that more in the next few seconds. Once we get the brother back, I want to get the brother back before we take another step. If anybody is here, anybody's listening, drop a comment, show some love, drop a like, drop a comment. If y'all have any questions, feel free to drop a question. And more than anything, I know that this is kind of dry, you know, for the brother back. I know this is kind of dry, and it's kind of cool because when we learning something, a lot of times it's gonna be kind of dry, but it's really good information, for real, for at least for me personally. Uh, but yes, sir. So you made it back, huh?
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know what's going on with this guy. I'm just having a real hard time. I
What
don't
was
know what's.
what was you trying to pull up?
I was just trying to pull up. It was a picture, man. It's a picture with a diagram about money. I'm going to about to share the whole screen, so I ain't gotta worry about it.
All right.
So I ain't gotta worry about this. I'm just gonna share this whole screen, y'all. Bear with me, man. If I can get through this, because I don't know. It's just running slow. It's like Everything running slow, man. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna show this. Can you see this? Pop up.
It's loading.
I think it's popped up.
It's loading.
Oh, okay, it's loading. Dang. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just having all kind of issues today, and it's something going on with the internet, y'all. So
Okay, it's up now.
I'm really thinking about. Okay, okay. So it's saying right here about money. So let me get this off the screen.
Part B, y'all.
But it's saying money is usual and ordinary exception. It means gold, silver, money used as circulating medium of exchange, and does not embrace notes, bonds, evidence of debt, or other personal or real estate. So let's look at it again. It's saying money in usual, ordinary, accept acceptation. It means gold, silver, or paper money used in circulation. This is a particular court case, Lane versus Rayleigh. Okay, the terms money is not of more extensive signification. So it's, I mean, for right here, it's saying that what money really is, or what it's supposed to be, is something that is uh, dealing with something backing it, gold, silver, nothing, and it's not. It says it's not. It does not embrace notes. So when we talk about now, we talk about banknotes. It's not bonds or evidence of debt. And when we look at our money today, it basically says that this is for all debt, public and private. It says a debt bearing note. So it's saying everything against what money really is. But in the financial system that we live in today, this is what it is. Okay. I just wanted y'all to see that right there. So I'm gonna go back to what we was doing. Okay, I just wanted to show y'all that. And I'm sorry it took me so long. It's like everything is screwed up. So go ahead, man. We talking about?
Okay,
You was
so
talking about how far did you get? Because you was reading. I know you was reading some of this without it being up. So
oh yeah, so we
go
was gonna
ahead.
get into the definition of credit. Uh, so we got a number of definitions of credit, which includes loans, bonds, charges of obligations, and open account balances with commercial firms. Also, available but unused bank letters of credit and other standby commitments, as well as a variety of consumer credit facilities. Another definition of credit is at its loftiest. It is defined in the Dun and Bradstreet. Credits man's confidence in man. uh, Another definition of credit is a period of time before a consumer has to pay a debt incurred for goods and services. In accounting, an accounting definition is credit is an entry or an act of making an entry that increases liabilities, owner's equity, revenue, and gains, and increases assets and expenses. Um, Another accounting definition of credit is an account entered in an amount entered in an account to show a decrease in assets or expenses or an increase in liabilities, revenue, or capital. In accounts, credits are entered in the right hand column. So it begs the question, well, what is credit? What is credit? What does it mean to receive credit? We talking about credit. We talking about money. We saying that credit is can be money can be credit or it can also be deposit. Uh, I don't know. Did you want to add anything there? And this is just all textbook stuff. You feel me? This is just all textbook things from dictionaries. I mean, it's nothing
Yeah,
totally special about these
right,
definitions.
right. I mean, this is straight from the textbook. It's not necessarily like conspiracy or stuff like that, but looking at what they give us as the information. This is what we're doing, but we're gonna break down and go through it. Because um, everything has to be looked at and scrutinized. So uh, for me, what is credit? I mean, it's saying that a loan, bonds, charge account obligations, open account balances with commercial firms, also available but unused bank letter of credit, and other standby commitments. So, I mean, really, besides just money, okay, when we think about wealth in this country, in this day and age, we think of wealth as, having a lot of money. We see our brothers with the money phones and, just big stacks of cash. Well, this is showing you the credit side. And like me and the other brother, me and King El Bay talk about this all the time. But in this world today, credit is king. Credit is um, credit is what we is the biggest circulation of some type of funds that you're gonna see. A lot of credit is being given out, and a lot of people who have their credit, like how it is, a good credit. You can have good credit and not have any money, and still get a you get accepted. Like if you go, like if you don't have hardly any money, but you got good credit, you can go get a car. You know, you can go get a house. You can get things with credit that not necessarily if you got money. So, um, that's just something to think about. I don't really have much to say on it at this time. I mean, I know we're trying to get through it. So, I mean,
I mean,
is
I'll
there
just say
anything?
that credit, like you said, man, credit. I think one of the major issues that we have in the black community is we do not know what to do with credit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, a lot of folks. I mean, I don't mind sharing a little bit about myself personally. I work with a company that deals with credit, and it's really kind of sad. I see a lot of folks calling in, and credit be all messed up. Credit be all messed up, and in the back of my mind, I was just like, man, folks, me myself included, because I done been there and done that. We don't know what to do with our credit. You know what I'm saying? We tend to stay on the consumer side of credit. You know what I'm saying? We like getting that credit so we can go and buy the car, buy the Nikes, get the vacation and all this and this and that. But I think that the true power lies in becoming the creditor. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the debtor. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully by talking more about financial, you know, becoming more financially astute, we can understand um, how to become the creditor. And I think that's definitely key.
Most definitely. I mean, with credit, you're able to do things that you might not have done. I mean, like if you can get a credit card that's got $10,000 on it, that's like a loan. That's basically a loan. So, you know, having that having the ability to be recognized that you are trusted with that kind of credit, it's very important because, like I said, the world runs basically off of credit at this point. It's not really like money; it's really
Mm,
credit.
Yeah, man,
So
we get our credit cards and want to go to the cheesecake factory and and all this and this and that. Go buy the newest Gucci and all this, man. Ah, we got to do better, man. And me myself, I'm talking about me myself. I done went to the cheesecake factory, and you got a little bit of bubbly in the tubbly, and all this and this and that, man. And it's 2023, man. But yes, sir, we can move forward.
okay, so
What we talking about? Deposit money. So deposit money is pretty much straightforward. It's also a form of credit money, but it's backed by the creditworthiness of a depository institution that issued the deposit. It's a form of credit money. It's not fiat money. Not they proclaim so credit deposit money is not fiat money because it's not legal tender, but essentially this relates to debit cards. This relates to debit cards, all this and this and that. Okay, I mean, without even getting all technical into it. So the deposit is a credit onto your debit card account or whatever. Um, but without even getting all that, I know the notes may not be 100%, all clear. I try my best to make my notes clear. Honestly, sometimes my notes ain't 100% clear to me, but for the sake of time, uh, it's enough to just understand, what's clear, what is clearly there. Um, let's see, and this,
so I
mhm,
thought this was interesting though, because I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't
hmm.
understand what deposit money is. I mean, like I hear what's being read, but I it's not legal tender. It's not fiat money. It's not proclaimed to be legal tender. So it's a form of credit money. So it's not the same thing as money.
Well, I mean, it's simple enough to even think it like, you get your check from work. You might go cash it. You take part of the Federal Reserve notes that you get. You take it to the bank. You put in the ATM, and they give you a credit on your account. You know what I'm saying? On your debit card. I mean, that's deposit money right there.
I
And
mean, that's kind of just I don't know. It's a lot. I mean, like it's I don't even know if we can get into it though. But it's just weird. It's just you got the because I mean, like you saying like we got our money is deposited from our we work for legal tender, right? Like you go to work, you get legal tender, but then you deposit it and it becomes a form of credit money. Man, it's a whole. Hey, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Then you got debit cards for immediate direct transfer of deposit amounts. We all get that. We all got debit cards. Like, and I was watching something where you're saying that using debit cards is really like poor people. Like using debit cards, he uses credit cards. So it's a difference, you understand between debit card and credit cards.
I mean,
Because, you get with credit cards, you can get credit. So the better you pay your bills or pay off that to pay that credit card and keep it without being in default, you can build credit. But with a debit card, you don't build credit.
that is true.
So I don't know. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like the financial system is not. It's a lot to it. It's not like a simple uh, walk in the park to learn. That's why I think a lot of us don't understand it, and why certain people thrive and are able to, you know, be successful because it's not for the meek. It's not for, if you're not really astute, you this will go over your head. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And this, you know, it does take some 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 real real life studying. You feel me? I think if anything, this is just maybe just serve as an introduction to people. You
Right,
know what I'm saying?
right,
Just to
right.
you know at least introduce y'all to some of these terms, so y'all can go your own research. I mean, nothing you know is gonna be learned here overnight. You feel me? It's just introduction, a service to everybody. I mean, I'm me myself. I'm a student. And I'm humbly inviting y'all to join me on this journey, and I'm happy to be part of y'all journey. Any of y'all that's starting to become financially literate, beginning to delve into financial education. I'm glad we was able to join y'all on your journey. You know what I'm saying?
Most definite, most definite. Like I said, I'm learning as well. So this right here is like a learning. Like you said, it's 101. This is finances 101. All right. So with that being said, where we at? We got what we at? Deposit. So
Um,
deposit definition. Did we do that? Oh, we
no, we
did.
didn't. Um, so it says banks broadly differentiate between at least two different types of deposits. Say demand deposits and time deposits. So I think the main difference between these two is, you got your checking accounts that you make a deposit on. You can get those back anytime that you want. And you got time deposits. Them is I think these is more like CODs. You know what I'm saying? Certificate of deposit. Then you can't get right back, immediately anytime that you want. They usually pay interest and have a specified maturity or require 30 days notice before withdrawal. So, I mean, hopefully we'll get time to talk about this. We probably won't because we're reaching on an hour, but we really need to talk about banking. Is where and this is one of the key things about finances. Where is we putting our money at? You know what I'm saying? When we work 40 hours and we get our checks, when we put our money in the savings, what is we doing? Who is we letting hold our money? You know what I'm saying? What is we doing with our money? And I think that's one of the key things to at least have some type of basic understanding of financial education is what is banking. I mean, that's so fundamental.
I agree. And most people, I feel like when they do get a check, like most of us, it goes into a checking account.
Hmm.
It goes into a checking account. So but the difference between that, like you said, checking account, I'm
I
gonna say
think
this: like you put your money in there, you're not really getting no interest on it for real because it ain't in there long enough.
nothing, nothing for real. Like checking accounts, we're not really getting a good deal out of it at all. For real, checking accounts ain't even the average saving account. It's probably some of the worst things that we can do with our money. I mean, they provide some type of convenience and some measure of security for us, but other than that, they not meant to help us build generational wealth at all.
I'm with
Um,
you.
so what we talking about? We got the paper money types. We got full body money, which is backed by precious metal, and we got fiat money. It's a legal tender for payment and for discharging debt. It's a lot
Uh,
there. We can,
well, that's right there. It's a mouthful, man. Look, full body money.
mm-hmm.
That's legal money. That's real. That was the money that the United States had before, 1973. If y'all, I know 1933 supposed to have been the buying back of all the gold for the Americans, but it wasn't until 1973 under Nixon that they took the money off of gold and silver. So in 1973, American no longer have full body money. We today in the United States and abroad are living off of fiat money. Okay, legal tender for payments and discharging debt. So I mean, when you look at your dollar bill, like we looked at that picture, it was saying that these are for debt, paying off debt. It's a legal tender for paying off debt. So that's what fiat funny money is. We call it fiat funny money because it really ain't backed by anything. And I think when because of that, that's when you start to see a fluctuation in the money where it's worth. The worth of money has fluctuated so much. And if you look at what's going on today, because of that, you have an instability in the money system right now. This is why, things are costing so much and it takes more money to buy things. And it's causing inflation. I don't like it's hard to have full body money and have inflation. When you got fiat, you start to see the cost of living go up. So that's what I got to say on that, man. Um, Let me see.
Um,
Okay, yeah, we got
so
50.
so now we talking about assets. I think I included this as kind of like a side note. We're talking about assets. Assets is so key, man, because and I think this is also one of the problems with us as a people is that we think about money, but we rarely talk about assets, and assets is key to wealth. Even more so than the Federal Reserve notes, and and even money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Because even to even today, we know that inflation is very real. You could have $50,000, in the bank, 20, 30 years ago, and that $50,000 ain't what it was, back then. And we really need to understand, that assets is key to wealth and building wealth. Assets is fundamental. I can't even overstate it. I'm perhaps more likely I'm understating it because we don't have time to go on all this, but assets is crucial. I mean, in order to build a wealth, we got to understand what assets is and how to get our hands on assets. This is where the credit come in. But with assets and why it's important to have assets, we don't even have time for this. But the assets, let me say, if y'all don't take away anything else from this, understand that assets is key. Forget Federal Reserve notes. That shouldn't be the goal. It should be assets.
And you're right, but look at the kind of assets. Like when we talk about assets as people, most of the time it is not none of this right here. Like this is not none of this. Like when we talk about stuff, we ain't like not even one, two, or three. When most people talk about assets, what they talk about, they might talk about real estate property because they might be talking about a house,
Mm.
or but usually people think of assets like a car or something like that. And there is so much other stuff going on. So we talking about right here real estate property, of course. I think land is probably like the number one resource or the number one asset you could probably have. So if you guys got land or we need to, you know, it is not any, it is no secret that melanated people need to buy land anyway. Okay, so when you're dealing with like that, or you got it says equipment, inventories. You know, what's durable? So, what is durable goods?
I mean, durable goods, it is like, things like cars, you feel me? Washers, dryers, you feel me? Household items, anything that's a good that's not, immediately consumed. I could say some things that have a shelf life on them, if you will, or whatever, however you want to put it. It's not, it's durable. You feel me?
Okay, okay, right. So it's things like they're saying like a durable good would be like appliances, your washer, your dryer, refrigerators, your air conditioners, your computers, televisions, electronics, jewelry, cars, these type of things. These are assets. Um, when we have when we're talking about precious metals, we got precious metals, so that's explanatory. Natural resources, natural natural resources. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of different things. You can go ahead.
Um, but yeah, because we got to understand that, and I stand to be corrected, but we talking about what our worth is, our own personal worth, of course, in a monetary sense. We got to take into consideration our assets and our liabilities. You feel me? I stand to be corrected. I don't got the equation off the top of my head, but when we trying to decide what is our net worth, or what is our net worth, we take into consideration our assets and subtract our liabilities, and some of us might not even be taking into considerations some of the things that we do have. We was even just talking about durable goods. Some of us might have assets that we not even taking into consideration. You even going to accounting, you feel me? You might have things around the house that you not even leveraging. You feel me? You might have you might have assets that you're not even leveraging. You might have durable goods, precious metals, whatever.
True,
And that's part of the thing about it too,
true,
though, because even if, let's say we get the money and we go buy the jewelry and go and buy the car and whatnot, is you okay, that's fine, but is you leveraging that? You feel me? Is you
yeah,
leveraging that to get credit? Is you leveraging that to invest, or increase your wealth down the line? And that's key.
right, right,
So that's
right.
even to say,
Mhm. No, go ahead, go ahead.
so that's even to say it's not even so much that folks go and buy, folks get the money and then they go and buy, jewelry, and then they go and buy cars and stuff like that. Okay, that's fine, whatever. But what is you leveraging that though is you taking that into consideration to, make yourself more financially, is using that to become wealthier in the future. So I think that's key though. Is leveraging your assets to increase your financial health in the future. I mean, I don't know what better way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of times we'll buy jewelry, but it's not appraised. We don't have a value on it, and then what you do is you wind up getting a lower value for it because you're trying to sell it. Where versus you getting it appraised and having it considered as a real asset. So now you have an actual value for it that can be an asset versus just going to the damn pawn shop, okay, and trying to sell it back, or going to buy here gold or necklace spot and having to sell it. You're not going to get the true value of it anyway. So a lot of times we get these things but don't really understand the true value of what we have. And I don't think that we look at those things precisely as an investment.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing we don't really get a lot of is the natural resources or commodities, raw materials. These are real assets. So, these people out here got, you know, like trees, raw materials, wood, rubber. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people got these natural resources. When we talk about precious metals, we talking about nickel, copper, you know, platinum, gold, not just, but there's so many forms of it. Like when we think of precious metals, a lot of times we just think of gold. But I mean, these people got copper mines, nickel mines. These people invest in those type of things. So we need to broaden our understand, broaden our look at what is precious metals or what any of these things are. Like broaden the horizon, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I got to say on that one. So we
Yeah,
moving. Where we at now? Financial assets.
yeah, financial assets. So that's another thing. So we talked about real assets, and we talking about financial assets. Okay, so we know that money is a financial asset. So financial assets includes money. But we also got a number of different other things such as debt instruments, equity securities, and financial contracts. And I think key to understanding assets is how to leverage assets, not to, because when folks go and collect assets, they might, leverage their assets, use it as collateral to go buy, get some more things that they don't really need. But you know, anyway, but these financial assets, we talking about debt instruments, equity, securities, financial contracts. So we know debt instruments. We should know that includes things such as bonds. You feel me? Promissory notes. Woo woo. And that could be a whole nother topic. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't even gonna go into it. But stocks, equity, security. That's what related to the stocks, or it could even be, just say some type of something saying that you own equity in some type of business or equity in the house, whatever. You own part of it, you got equity in it. Financial contracts. So financial contracts, some may be backed by real assets and earning abilities of issuer. Long-term debt issued by corporations may represent a claim against specific assets, more liquid. So financial contracts may be more liquid. Uh, so financial assets is not, without even getting too complex. It's your typical stocks, bonds, those types of things. Investments. We talked about this in a previous video, but it's a number of different instruments, that are used for financial instruments used to invest, to gain credit, yada yada. But yes, sir. Without even getting too complex, getting all into it, I fear that we not gonna get into the third chapter today, which is what I really kind of want to get into. But that probably do deserve a different video of its own.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I understand. Yeah, I mean, um, the intent. So let me go back. Let me go because this is interesting. So I understand that, like, for example, we talk about, for example, would you think Kanye West? Okay, Kanye West was worth, you know, I don't know, he was worth billions of dollars, right? And then because of his contracts and him pulling out with Adidas, or the Adidas pulling out from him and things of that nature, he wound up being worth $400 million. And so it gets me to think about how much basically his contracts was worth.
Mm-hmm.
His contracts was worth, billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And so people don't understand. So what I'm saying is that we never really understood or thought about the fact that paper, like you said, these instruments and these contracts are actually worth money, and that they are actually an asset.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
so
Oh yeah.
uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you wanted to go into the intangible assets, and then we probably could end it off for here.
Okay. Well, yeah. Of course, intangible assets. I mean, these is patents, copyrights, trademarks, and intellectual properties. I mean, these is self-explanatory. Intangible assets. They, you know, I don't know. I will better, will better way to put it. Patents, copyrights, trademarks, intellectual property. They could very well be worth probably more than real estate for some people.
Yeah, they could be. I mean, there's a lot of money in a patent. Somebody owns a patent to let's think of a patent. Uh,
The light bulb.
yeah, I was just thinking that. That's what I was just thinking. It's like if you notice, like uh, who did the light bulb? Was it Thomas Edison, right? So Thomas Edison supposed to, he didn't hardly invent anything, but he got the patents on everything. And so with him having the patents, he became a very wealthy person because he owned the patents. You know, it's important for you to own and trademark and copyright certain things. Um, and our intellectual property is very important, man, because uh, a lot of times our intellectual property is taken from us. We don't even realize it. Intellectual property is normally defined as a set of products protected under laws associated with, of course, copyrights. We talked about patents, trademark, industrial design, and trade secrets.
Mhm.
So, intellectual property could be an invention, a design, a brand name, trademark, or literary or artistic work. Your
Mhm.
writing. We got books. Our books. These are intangible assets. So, we can think about that as well. Like the things that you have copyrighted, how much are they worth? And then how you can, like he says, leverage these things. So it's important.
Yes, sir. A few more things about assets. We got a definition of asset, or one definition of the financial contract slash physical object with value, which can be used to generate additional value, earnings, provide liquidity, and the assets can include cash, investments, accounts receivable, loans granted, inventory, real estate, plant and equipment, and intangibles. Assets are characterized by varying degrees of liquidity and may be used, no, it may be funded through debt or equity. So, yeah, man, assets is key, and we ain't even really, we just barely even touched the surface with this. And sad to say, as far as I'm seeing now, we won't really, in upcoming videos, probably won't go into a ton of more about assets. But uh, anybody who watched the video, and if anybody who made it this far, anybody that made
Right.
it this far, uh,
Right.
assets. We need to be more asset uh, minded people, and also the right assets and how to leverage those assets. Because it's one thing for us to go out and buy that flat screen, but and a lot of people say, "Oh, well, you dumb for going buying that flat screen. You should have put the money into an equity security or a stock that's gonna make you more money over time. That's gonna generate more money over time. The TV is just
Right.
gonna lose value over time." But okay, whatever. If you buy the TV, you
Yeah.
gonna
Right.
use the
It's gonna
TV.
depreciate. It's gonna depreciate as soon as you
Hmm.
buy it.
But even
Yeah.
so, is you gonna use the TV to leverage? You know what I'm saying? Can you put the TV up for collateral for a loan, for a business loan, things like that?
Facts. I mean, that's what you need to do when you buying stuff. I mean, even when you buying stuff like a TV or whatever, like which TV is going to have more value? Which one's going to have more lasting value over time? Because you might be able to use it as an asset. I don't think all TVs are created equal either. You know, you go buy you a generic high tech or some TV that ain't really all that. Just for your own sake. But if it may not have no real value. You know, out here. So we just got to look at what assets. If y'all anybody have read Rich Dad Poor Dad, this is kind of what Rich Dad Poor Dad was going into. Just saying like how poor people look at assets versus rich people look at assets. So rich people look at assets and they be looking at assets in a way broader scope. So they got debt instruments, they got equity securities. They looking at those type of things where we kind of caught up in just the physical. We might do real estate if that, but we're more into durable goods. That's kind of all I see a lot of people do. Durable goods, not a lot of financial assets, okay, and not a lot of intangible assets, okay. So I mean, just keep that in mind. There's more than one type of asset. There's at least three type of assets, you know. So keep your mind open, man. Let's get this bag, y'all. Let's get this money. Let's learn the financial game and use it, okay. Let's use this financial game to secure a bag. Okay. Facts.
Major
Okay. On
facts.
God. On God. You know what I mean? So that's all I really got to that's all I really got for tonight, man. It's been a rough night, man. Trying to get through this. Trying to get started up, man. I'll probably have to go back and edit this so that it won't have all that crap in it. But if y'all been watching it as long as you have, y'all please smash that like button. Please, please do that. And subscribe because there's a lot of more content that we do have on this channel that we deal with. We got a variety of brothers and sisters that come on the show. So, um, you know, and hey, please donate. Go to the super thanks because we need better equipment so we can do better videos. Because I'm sick of my computer crashing on me. All right, I'm working on it though. We're gonna get it together though. Regardless if you donate or not, we're gonna get it together. So, um, I don't know. That's all I got to say, bro. You got anything else to say?
Uh, just stay tuned, people. I think hopefully next time we'll get into banking because I think, as I've already said, I think banking is key. I think we still got some parts of chapter 2 left, but I think
Right.
banking is key because I mean, we all bank. We all bank. Most of us bank. If you got money on the debit card somewhere, you banking. So I think a lot of folks hopefully gonna like. Hopefully the next video we'll get into to banking.
Yeah, we need to learn this stuff. So we create our own banks. We need
Hmm.
our own banking in our own institution. So one of the things we need to do is kind of really know finances and how it works.
Mhm.
So you know,
Yeah, no,
this all this information is to for us, so that we can either create wealth, but also for us to create our own institutions, man. This is where
mhm,
we at now, man. It's time for us to start creating our own institutions and our own money, so we can loan money out to our own people.
mhm.
Facts, man. This is where we at, man. So let's get our game up, and y'all study these videos until to the next video. Y'all study this video and get ready for the next video coming soon. So with that being said, I'm out, bro. I'm
We
out.
out. We out.
Tutanana.